Hello and welcome to Word 2021 Intermediate. My name is Mo Jones. Today we'll spend some time looking at some intermediate features. If you have not done so, please check out our Word 2021 introduction video as well. If you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. If you're looking to earn certificates and watch videos without ads, sign up for Learn It Anytime, our dedicated online training subscription service. Check the link in the description for more information. If you have any questions you want answered by one of our instructors, please join our offsite community. The link is in the description as well. As always, if this course has exercise files, you'll find them in the video description below. Let's dive in and see how we can be more productive with Word 2021. Before we get started, it's a good idea just to kind of take a look and see where we are heading today. Notice that we have separated this tutorial into 7 mini lessons. And so at this point, we can go ahead and just take a look at the learning outcomes for today. So we'll mostly be talking about organizing content, customizing formats, inserting content, making use of templates, and controlling the flow of our document, which is a very important feature. We'll talk about just simplifying our document as well. And we'll finish up by using our mail merge feature. We'll take a look at some of the new features where Microsoft has simplified the process for us. So go ahead and pause the video, take a look at our agenda for today, and come right back and we'll dive right in. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and jump into lesson 1. While you were gone, I did convert all of my lessons here. I did apply the heading 1 style. And so this gives me more management capabilities of my document here. I'm going to go ahead and click on my View tab, and I'll turn on my navigation pane. This way I can just kind of jump back and forth between each heading or section here. While you were gone, I also took the opportunity to insert a basic table here. And we do have our first objectives here. We want to go ahead and split the table, perform some sorting on the table, perform some calculations, and apply some cell layouts as well. So I'll click on my table here. And now that I clicked on my table, I get these contextual menus right up here, one for table design, one for layout. I'm going to go ahead and click on my layout tab so we can take advantage of some of the options in there. So I'll click on layout, and we'll spend some time right here in our merge command group, and also over here in our data command group as well. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and split this table. Why? Because this table has 2 sections. If you notice, we have several colleges here, and we're keeping track of the undergraduate students, and we're keeping track of the graduate students as well. So we have our undergrad school and our grad school. So I want to go ahead and split this table into 2. So what I'll do is I'll head over to I'll click back on my table here, go back to my layout, and I'll just mouse over the split table command here. Split the table into 2 tables. The current row will become the first row of the new table. So I just need to be mindful of where I place my cursor. So right here from graduate, I want this row and down to be a part of my new table. So I'll go ahead and click on split table. And just like that, we have our 2 tables, one for undergrad and one for graduate as well. Very good. So no longer need this row. I already know that this is my undergraduate table. So I'll go up to my delete here and I'll delete this row. Okay. Just make sure that you clicked on the table so that you can get the contextual menu. If I click away, the menu goes away. So I'll click back on the table. Here's my layout. Very good. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to go ahead and sort, right? Sort by college name. And so right over here in my data group, I can go ahead and click on this sort icon. And it's going to give me another dialog box. So here we go. So here's my dialog box. Now I do have headers on my table here. And so that allows me to see the actual name of the columns here that I want to be able to sort by. So it's a good idea to make sure that you have headers there as well. Otherwise, if I said no header row, I would have to specify the column number. But I do have headers. I'll leave that there as well. So I do want to sort by college name, and I want to go in ascending order. I'm good to go. I'll go ahead. I'll leave these as default. Go ahead and click OK. And so we do have it sorted here in ascending order. C comes before E, before M, O, and P. And the data travels with it. So this 134 traveled with our Pine College here as well. I can go ahead and change that to descending if I want to. And here we see our Pine College, the 134, traveled with it as well. I'll put that back to ascending order here. Now you do have the opportunity to have multiple sorts. If your table is very complex and you have, multiple layers, you can apply multiple sorts here as well. We'll keep it simple. We'll do a one-level sort. Very good. So now I want to go ahead and perform some calculations here. I want a total row like I do with my graduate students here. And so I'm going to go ahead and insert another row underneath Pine College. This time I'll head up to my menu and say insert a row below. Now I can just go ahead and type the word total in here. And I'll make use of the built-in formulas that comes with Microsoft Word here by clicking on my formula icon here. And notice, kind of behaves like Excel. It's taking a look around and it's saying, hey, you have some data at the top here. Would you like for me to summarize those for you? So notice the syntax here is the sum function and it's above. So if we had data to our left, we would say left. If we want to summarize data to our right, we would say right or below. I'll go ahead and accept these defaults here. And so the sum of these are 866. I'll go ahead and drop my function in here as well. So sum above, very good. I'll go ahead and click OK. So my new students are 866 and my leaving students are 768. Well, now I want to perform another calculation here. I want to track the change. So what's the difference between the amount of new students that are coming in versus the students that are going out? So I'll go ahead and click on my formula here again. And now it's looking to my left. It wants to sum the left, but I don't want to use the sum function here. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this out. And just like in Excel, we can just reference the actual cell value. So I know that, for example, this column here, this is column 1. This is column 2, 3, and 4. And then we also have rows as well. So this is row 1, row 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so let's go ahead and try to identify and write this formula here. So what I want to do is go ahead and subtract the 110 minus 103. So the cell reference here is B2. So I can say equals B2 minus C2. If I click OK, that gives me 7. So 110 minus 103 gives us 7. That is correct. Okay? So I can go ahead and do the same for here. For Elm College, I'll leave that for you to be able to go ahead and practice as well. We'll do one more thing here in terms of the calculation. I'll go to my graduate table. Maybe I want to go ahead and use the average function instead. So what's the average new students for our grad school here for all of our colleges? Go ahead and click on my formula here. And so notice right now, this is the sum function. I can change that. I want to use the average function here. Okay, so here's our average function. But I'm going to go ahead and just delete this out. And I'll drop in my average function right here. And it's going to be above. So I'll type the word above here. We're doing it the long way. I'll go ahead and click OK. And so the average is 26.4 per school for graduates as well. Very good. I'll leave the rest of these for you as well. So the next thing we want to do is just talk about the cell layout. Okay. And we're still on our layout tab here. If I want to, I can go ahead and split these cells. The first thing I'll go ahead and do. So if I want to split this cell into two, maybe our team does not have this 100% correct. Maybe they think it's 110 and not 103. So we can split this cell into two, and we can split it into different numbers of columns here. I'll leave it as two columns in one row. And so now we have a second part of the cell. We can indicate, well, it's either 103 or maybe it's 110. Okay. Our formulas do not change. They're not dynamic. They're just static here. So when you create your formulas, even if you change the numbers, they're not changing. So I can split the cell just by doing that as well. Now let's talk about the cell layout. Of course, we can go ahead and just kind of grab the borders here and resize our columns and our rows if we want to. But you can also take advantage of the auto fit feature here. There's different auto fit options here. So the first one is to auto fit all the contents. That will just auto fit everything for us based on the headers here. We can auto fit to the window. So we'll take up the full length of our page here. Or we can go ahead and use a fixed column width. So those are the three options for you. So it's really up to you what you want to do. So what I want you to do right now, go ahead and perform the rest of the calculations for the change for these other schools. Go ahead and perform the calculations for the average here for the graduate students. And then go ahead and come right back. Welcome back. Hopefully you were able to calculate the remaining changes here and go ahead and grab the average for the graduating students for our grad school. Let's go ahead and move on. We want to talk about inserting charts. So I'll go ahead and scroll down here. I no longer need this table, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this. I'll click here. I'll go to my layout and I'll delete this table here just to give me some room here as well. And we want to go ahead and insert a chart. And we'll insert a chart and then we'll take a look at some of the really cool options to customize that chart as well. You would want to insert a chart because it's a really nice way to show a visual depiction of your data. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on my Insert tab here. And right over here in my Illustrations group, I have the option to insert a chart. And that is exactly what I want to do. But before I do that, I need to consider, well, what type of data do I want from my chart here? So I can either manually enter the data or I can use existing data. I already have some data here from my table. So I'll go ahead and use this data for my chart. So the first thing I want to do is to, remember I did split this cell. So what I want to do is just merge them. So I'll click on my layout tab here for my table and I'll click on the option to merge these cells. And so that removes the split for me. And now I just need to go ahead and delete that 110 value. Very good. I'll do my work ahead of time here. I'll go ahead and copy just a part of this table here. And I'll right click and I'll copy that. Very good. Okay, let's go back to our Insert tab here. And we'll insert our chart right here. And you get this big menu here. The same menu that you would get in Excel. You can insert various types of charts here. So by default, we have this clustered column chart, which is perfectly fine, but we can take a look and see what other options are there. So we have stack column, 100% stack column, 3D clustered column, 3D stack column. We can always change the chart later after we create it. So that's just not a problem. But we have various charts here, line charts, pie charts, bar charts, area charts, all the way down to complex combo charts. But we'll go ahead and just kind of keep this basic here. I'll go ahead and click OK. The Great thing about creating a chart is that you get this little Excel helper here to help you with your chart. I'll scroll down a little bit here to bring my chart into focus. And so now we have to determine, well, what do we want to do? If I wanted to, I could go ahead and just create my chart by updating the data here. So notice category ones, my category ones are down here. So if I were to change this to, let's say Cedar U, then it changes to Cedar U. So I could type the names of my colleges here and then put in the data. But I want to go ahead and just paste the data right in here as well. So I'll just press Control V so I can go ahead and paste that data in that I copied earlier from my table. And there you go. So it drops it in for me. So here's Cedar University, and it's showing the new students, the graduating students, and the change as well. And the same for Elm College, Maple Academy, Oak Institute, and Pine College. So if you have your data ahead of time, then that works perfectly fine here. And we do have this outline here. So as long as your data set is inside of this outline, we can move this outline. If we wanted to expand and add more data, we can just drag this in as needed. But I'm finished with that. It's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And so now we have our nice chart here. Okay. And so we do get the contextual menu for our chart. We have the chart design option, and we have the format option. So if I click away from the chart, it goes away. But if I click back on my chart, I have chart design and I have format. The format is not really used that much because it's basically considering our chart as a shape. And so a lot of these will kind of overwrite any of the other options that you use. So I'll go ahead and click on chart design here. And as the name mentioned, this is all about customizing the chart. So we could take advantage of the chart layouts option here and the chart styles. But I do want to point out that over here, right to the right of our chart, we do have these icons here that we can interact with as well. Right over here, we have these options that we can interact with. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and click on the first one. So these are the layout options here. And if you have inserted an object or a picture, this basically explains how text moves with our object here. So by default, it's in line with text. It's on its own line. I don't really have any text around it, so I'll just leave the option here as well. But if I wanted to wrap text around it in the form of a square or top to bottom, I can do that as well. Let's go ahead and click on our first button here for chart elements. And so there's a lot of options here. So for example, if I want to turn the axes off or on, so here's our axes here for our colleges, and here are the numerical values. So if I wanted to turn that off, it hides those for me. It gives me more room on my chart, but I'll leave those on. I can add axis titles if I want to. So if I click, it will allow me to provide some more information here. Maybe I can write colleges, but I don't want to do that right now. And we can go ahead and change the chart title. Now notice we do have a sub-menu for each of these options as well. And so if I click on the sub-menu for chart title, I can kind of just move where I want the chart to be. So right now it's above the chart. I have more options available if I want to. And I can go ahead and type right in my chart here, and I can change the name, or I can move things around here like that, but I'll leave that back here. And what I'll do is just type the name. So this is enrollment. Very good. And we'll move right along here. So we have data labels. Data labels is a good way to just kind of make it easier for your data to be read because it places the numerical value on top of our column bars here. We have the data table, which gives us a nice little hybrid. So we have the data table on the bottom and the chart on the top. So that could be useful. Then we have various error bars that we can use. We can turn the grid lines off or on if we want to. We can turn the legend on or off if we want to. course, it doesn't help if you're presenting this for the first time. You want to leave the legends on so people can actually know what exactly they're looking for. And I can go ahead and move the legend to the bottom. I'll put it back on the bottom here if I want to. Then we have various trend lines that we can use. Now, let's talk about some of the chart styles here. So with our chart styles, we do have some built-in chart styles that we can apply quickly to our chart. And if I just grab this scroll wheel here, I can just scroll down, scroll bar rather. And if I just mouse over each one, it's giving me a nice preview of what my chart would look like. So we have various styles that we can use. If I just scroll down here, we can kind of see some of them here. And if I just mouse over or hover my mouse, it's showing me a preview of what it would look like. So if I go all the way to the bottom here, currently we have 14 styles that are pre-built that we can use. I think I'll go ahead and accept this one here. Now we can change the colors. If you click on the color palette here, we have some colorful palettes here that you can use. And notice how my chart is changing as I'm just mousing over each one. So we have a colorful palette, and we have another section with some monochrome, different variations of a particular color here as well. So it's really up to you which one you want to use. Of course, we also can take advantage of changing the theme as well, and that will give us access to even more colors. We also have filter options here. So if you want to be able to filter, maybe your audience is asking questions based on new students versus graduating students or a particular university, you can go ahead and apply a filter as well. So what I want you to do, go ahead and insert a chart. You can copy the data from the table or you can type in the data manually. But I want you to go ahead and play around with those different buttons. Choose a chart style, go ahead and customize the elements and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had fun just customizing your chart there. We spent some time manipulating a chart and a table, but we had to build them from scratch. Now, what if we already had an existing table or a chart in another Microsoft Office application, such as PowerPoint or even Excel? Well, let's talk about inserting either a table or a chart from other Office applications. So I do have my Excel worksheet here, and it's called Book One. I currently have it saved. I'll go ahead and save it just in case it's not saved. And I do have a small table here. I recreated my table. Some of the data is slightly different here. But what if I wanted to go ahead and copy this data or this table right into my Microsoft Word document? I also have a chart here that I built based on this table. What if I wanted to go ahead and insert that as well? Well, we can take advantage of the advanced clipboard option here. So let's take a look at it. Let's see what that process looks like. I'll go ahead and highlight my table here. And I like using the right click. So I'll right click and I'll just go ahead and copy this. Then I'll move this out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and drop that in right here. So I can either go to the Home tab and I can take advantage of the paste options here. Okay. So notice I have a few options. If I just kind of mouse over them, so I can just drop the table in here by keeping the original format. Option 2 is I can use the styles that are currently in my Word document here. I can go ahead and actually create a link to the original source. So if I want to create a link to my Excel table, I can do that. So basically, if I make any changes to my Excel worksheet, it will update the values that are right here in this document. We just need to enable the linking feature. And so we can also link, but we'll use the destination style. So we can either link it and keep the original style from the Excel table, or we can use this basic default style here. The other options, we can insert it as a picture, which means we can't really do anything with it. It's just there for visual purposes. Or we can keep the text only. Well, let's go ahead and take advantage of the, we'll link and keep the source formatting here, and we'll do it that way. So you can either just paste it in, and you'll still be able to actually modify the table in Microsoft Word. So you're either going to modify it in Word or you want to do it in Excel. I'll do it in Excel here. Okay, so I just need to go ahead and clean up my table a little bit here. I'll click on the layout and I want to auto fit my contents here, just so it looks nice and neat here as well. Okay, and so now if I wanted to, I can go ahead and modify this table. So if I wanted to insert a column to my right, I can do that. And I can go ahead and resize it. So I can do all of those different things. I'm going to undo that. So if you find it easier to just copy your table from Excel, maybe it's easier for you to write your formulas in Excel, then that's perfectly fine. You can just go ahead and do it that way. And so now what if I change one of the values in Excel? Well, what I need to do is right click here on my table and I can just go ahead and update this link here. So if I pull my Excel table over here, I'm gonna pull that back over here really quickly. And I'll change college A to 150. So 150, go ahead and save this document here, put it out of the way. So notice it's not updating right away, but if I right click and I update the link, here's my 150. So that value changes. So this is just another option for you if you find it easier to manage your tables in Excel. So I'll go ahead and auto fit this again. Very good. Now let's talk about that chart. I'll bring my Excel back over here. So here's my chart. I'll go ahead and just right click on it. Make sure I click on the border here. And from here, I can just go ahead and copy. So I can right click, can copy that. And now I can get this out of the way, actually. And so now what I want to do, see if I can get away from this table here. I want to go ahead and drop that chart right in here. So this time I'll right click. And so I get the options again. I can go ahead and insert my chart using the destination theme. And I can embed the workbook right here into Word. I can keep the source formatting and embed it. I can establish the link if I want to, okay, or I can insert it as a picture. So it's really up to you what you want to do. I think this time, maybe I'll go ahead and I'll keep the source formatting and embed the workbook here. And there you go. So now if I click on my chart, I still have the options here that I can go ahead and customize it as well. If I click on my chart design, I still have the option here. If I want to go ahead and select the data, I still have access to that Excel worksheet. I can change the data here if I want to. But it looks good. I'll leave it the way it is. So if you have a chart or a table in another Office application, such as PowerPoint or Excel, go ahead and just copy those over and take advantage of the advanced clipboard options. Insert it as a picture, as a link, or you can just embed the table or the chart right in there. So go ahead and play around with those options and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had some fun inserting some tables and some charts and customizing them as well. Let's move on to lesson number 2. I have condensed lesson 1 by collapsing my lesson 1 header here. And while you were gone, I did randomly just generate 2 paragraphs here, 3 sentences each. And let's go ahead and talk about customizing formats using styles and themes. Now, keep in mind, we do have on our home tab, we do have some existing styles that are here for us. So let's just kind of take a quick look. We'll click on this drop down here. And notice we have various styles here that we can use. So we have normal, we have various headings, we have titles, we have some intense references, some different types of options here that are kind of built in for us. But, they don't really have any color. They have some basic colors, blue or black and, bolded or italicized. And so what we want to do now is we want to be able to create our own styles. And we can do that by clicking on the Create a Style option here. And later on, we can go ahead and apply those styles as well. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to, let's see, I'll break these sentences up into 3. I want them on their own line. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay. All right, so I'll go ahead and choose my first line here. Notice the default font is this Calibri here. All right, so we have this Calibri 12, and we have our default color is black. So let's go ahead and make some changes here to this one. I'll grab my first sentence here, and I'll head over here, and maybe I want this to be Arial. I'll just choose the next font on the list here, and I'll make the size a little bigger. Maybe I want it to be 13. So I'll type 13 in there. And maybe I want it to be orange. So I'll choose this orange color here, and I'll go ahead and italicize that as well. Okay, so now if I want to go ahead and save the style, maybe I want to go ahead and apply it to the first sentence in my next paragraph. So I'll go ahead and just highlight that here, and I'll head over to my styles command group. I'll click on the drop down, and right here, as we visited before, I'll click on where it says create a style. And so now I can just go ahead and give this style a name. It gives me a nice preview of what it would look like here. I'll accept this value as style 1. If I wanted to make any more modifications to it, I can click on modify here, and we have a lot of options. Let me just move this up here a little bit, and we have some other options here that we can use. And there's a lot going on here, but it's all here for us to be able to customize. Remember, this is our document. We can do whatever we want to do to it. So it gives us a nice preview of what it would look like. By default, it's going to add the style to the gallery for us. So that will make it easy for us to basically access it. If we want additional formats, we can apply some formatting here. So here's the basic formatting that we get. The font type, the size, the modifications to the characters, and the color. If we wanted to, we can adjust the alignment, okay, the spacing, and the indentation. But we'll keep this first one simple here. I'm going to go ahead and just accept these, and I'll go ahead and press OK. And just like that, if you notice, let's take a look at the top here. Here's our style. We just created our own style. That's right here. So let's go ahead and apply that style to the first sentence in our second paragraph here. So I'll go ahead and just highlight this first sentence here. Goes all the way down here. And I want to apply the style to it. And look at that. I have not even clicked on it. It's already applying that style for me. Go ahead and click on that style there. Let's do another one here. This time, I'll choose the next font on the list, which is, I'll go Algerian. I'll make this one 14. I'll give this a color of, let's see, I'll give it this color here, this light blue. Go ahead and add that. And I'll go ahead and save the style. So I'll click on the drop down, create a style. I'll leave it as style 2. Let's see if I can make another type of modification to it here. Maybe I want this to be centered. Maybe I'll choose the center alignment here. So this is what it would look like here. And I can adjust the spacing if I want to, but I'll keep it basic here. See what other format options are here. So I do have some other format options here for font, paragraph, tabs, so that nature. But let's see, maybe I'll give it a tighter. And right down here, it gives you all the information. Okay, so it gives you the font, the size, the color, and right now it's centered, and we have this 2-point spacing here as well. So I'm good to go. I'll click OK. And so my style 2, if I take a look at my styles gallery, they're right here, they're showing up. So I'll go ahead and apply that to my second sentence here. Give that a style 2. Very good. And I'll do one more. Go ahead and just do one more here. And this one, I'll choose the next one on the list, which is, let's see, Arial Black. Why not? I'll do that. I'll leave the color as is. Maybe I'll make this one, maybe make it 16, make it stand out. And so I think that's good for now. We'll go ahead and, let's see, create a style. I'll modify this. I'll leave it as style 3. And this one I want to be, I want this one to be right aligned here. And nice spacing there. And I'll go ahead and click OK. And just as before, we'll go ahead and apply that style to our third sentence here as well. There we go. Very good. So go ahead, add a few styles there, as many as you want to, and just make sure that you can apply them to another form of text. Play around and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had some fun taking advantage of the wonderful opportunity to create your own styles here. Very, very useful tool. Will save you a lot of time in the future. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our second task here in lesson 2, which is we can also create our own table styles. So I just copied and pasted my table here from earlier. Scroll down a little bit here. And I'm going to go ahead and click on my table design tab. And notice from here, I have several table designed layouts that I can choose from. If I just click on this menu, I have some plain table styles that I can use. And notice as I'm mousing over each of them, it's applying the change or it's giving me a preview. We have some grid table options here, various colors. And we also have some list tables here that I can use. So I can easily just apply, I can change and apply it by doing that. But what if I want some other colors or some other features or other things of that nature? Now remember, if we go ahead and click on our design tab, we do have the option to change our theme. Now remember, our theme is basically a list of fonts, colors, and effects. And so as we change our theme, we can actually have different options here. So I'll go ahead and change the theme. Maybe I'll change to banded here. And notice as I'm just moving over each theme, I'm getting different color combinations here. So I'll go back to my table design here. And now if you take a look, we have different color options here. So the bottom line is here is that you have a lot of different options to go ahead and change and customize your table as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and make some basic changes to my table here. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and save that style. So there's a few ways you can do that. Just click on your table. And once you go to the table design tab, you can click on the more drop down, just as we did earlier. And if you go down, we can create a new table style from scratch, or we can modify the existing table style. So if you find a table style that's kind of close to what you're looking for, you can go ahead and modify that. Let's take a look at the new table style here. Now we have a lot of options here. We just take a look here, a lot of options. So first we give it a name. I can call it, I'll leave it at style 4. That's perfectly fine. The style type, we want to leave it as table. And right here we can choose, right? So this is based on a normal table. Or notice we have all of the table styles here. If we want to use one of these as kind of as a palette to choose from. So we can go ahead and apply the formatting to the whole table if we want to, or maybe it's just the header row or the first column. So it's very, very specific, very, very powerful customizable tools here. We can establish the font type here if we want to. We can change the color if we want to. And right here on the bottom, it's giving you a nice preview of what your table will look like here. Okay. So to keep things easier, I'll go ahead and just choose from an existing style here, maybe table grid. There we go. So now we have our grid here. So I'll just go ahead and choose I'll choose Arial Black. I'll change the font to 12. And I want the color to be maybe this nice blue here. Again, I'm going kind of crazy here with this. And let's see. Okay, so here we have our borders, the size of our borders, and we have the color of our borders as well. And let's see. Here we can decide what type of borders we want. All borders on the outside, we'll leave that. We have other colors that we can use. So I'll just try to do one of everything here and see what happens. Maybe I'll make this black. No, it's a little too crazy there. Maybe something like that. And here we have the alignment. I usually like everything to be centered, so I'll go ahead and choose that. And right here on the bottom, we're getting a nice, nice information of what this style is going to look like. So here we have all the information that we're plugging in here. We have the option to apply this only to this document, or we can say a new document based on this template. I'll go ahead and click on Format. We have some other options here, but I don't want to go too crazy here. And let's see. I'll go ahead and click OK. And if I did that right, it should show up here. So if we click on our more here, at the very top, we'll see the custom tables that we have created, or the custom styles. So if I click here, it's going to apply that style to my table here. Yeah, I'm not the most artistic person here, but hey, I was able to create my own table style here. So go ahead and insert a table and just go ahead and create your own style. You can either create one from scratch or you can build one based on an existing table style. Welcome back. Hopefully you had fun creating your own table style there. Now let's move on to objective 3 of lesson 2, which is the office theme. Notice I'm currently on my design tab here, and I did drop in a random paragraph here, random Microsoft paragraph here. And what I want to do is go ahead and change the theme. And I want to go ahead and change the colors and the fonts, maybe some of the effects as well, and see how it impacts my paragraph here. So if I go back to my home tab, this is the Corbel font and it's size 12. So let's go ahead and change our theme. Maybe I'll change my theme to this gallery theme here. And let's take a look and see. So notice how the font changed, and notice how the effects changed here as well. So what we can do is we can go ahead and just kind of customize things on our own. We have various types of paragraphs here that we can apply to it as well. But what I want to do, I want to manually kind of select the colors that I want to use. So maybe I want to use this, blue is my favorite color. So maybe this blue palette here, maybe this is what I want to use. And as for the font, maybe I want to use this, let's see, I'll use this Corbel. Maybe I'll use Corbel font. And as far as the effects, we have various effects here that we can use. I have this glowy edge, okay, smoky glass. Maybe I'll use the glowy edge here as well. And if I wanted to, I can go ahead and kind of affect the paragraph spacing if I want to. I have a lot of things going on in this document, so I don't want to do that right now. But I could change it to tight, open, relaxed if I want to as well. So the whole idea is we can go into the design tab. We can choose our own colors, our own fonts, our own effects, or even our own paragraph spacing as well. And once you get the combination that you really, really like, you can go ahead and set that as the default for your documents. Or we can go ahead and we can save this here by clicking on the themes dropdown, and we can save this current theme. So if I click on save this current theme, Okay, so remember, I kind of did this manually here. It's going to open up a dialog box for you for a default location for where your Microsoft Word is storing your themes. You don't want to change that location. The only thing you want to do is just go ahead and give it a name. Right now, the default name is Theme 1. I'll just click Save, and my theme is there. So now, if I were to click on my Themes dropdown, under Custom, I can see my Theme 1 here. Very good. So I want to be able to go ahead and see if I can reset the theme from the template here. Let's see. There we go. All right, so we have that option there. I can always go back to the Office theme if I want to, just like that. Very good. So go ahead, click on your Design tab, write a paragraph, change the color, the font, the paragraph spacing, and the effect. Get that combination that you're looking for, that you feel comfortable for. This is your Word document. Once you're done, click on the Themes dropdown and click on Save the Current Theme. And just make sure you come back. You can see it here at the top underneath the Custom Theme options. And come right back. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and move on to lesson number 3. And we'll talk about inserting content by using reusable content. Specifically, we'll talk about building blocks. Well, what are building blocks? Well, notice that I'm currently on my Insert tab. And on the Insert tab, if we head over to our text command group, we have this option here. It's called Quick Parts. And you may be wondering, well, what is Quick Parts? I've never seen that before. I've never paid attention to it. Well, Quick Parts, if I just click on the drop down here, we have some different options to explore. But before we take a look at the menu, basically, there's a lot of web-based applications now that allow you to create documents online. And one of the great features of those applications is that it allows you to basically pull different types of text or paragraphs or fonts from different places where you can basically just drop that right onto your canvas. And it makes it a lot easier because it gives you a lot of ideas. And so you don't have to spend that much time customizing options as well. Well, that's exactly what Quick Parts is. There are quick parts here that are predefined in Microsoft Word, and you can basically just call on these and drop them right into your document. So I'll go ahead and click on Quick Parts. I'll go down to the Building Blocks Organizer. Now, this is a list of really just all the building blocks that are inside of Microsoft Word. So if we take a look, we can see the gallery is listed in alphabetical order here. So we have some built-in ones here. This is for my company here. It's just basically says Learn It 3. This one just says L2. But if we take a look at the bibliography, so we have a bibliography-based building block here, and we can go ahead and just insert that. And here's a preview of what it looks like on the right. So we have 3 different types of bibliographies that we can drop in if we want to. We have lots of cover pages here that we can drop in as well. So we have bibliographies, we have cover pages, while I scroll down a little bit here. We have equations that are built in. So these are all built in. We have various footers that we can use to drop in. And we have various headers, different types of headers. And let's see, we have page numbers. Let's move down to our text boxes so I can give you an idea of exactly how this works. So I'll go down to my text boxes here. We also have tables, various calendars that we can insert as well. That one looks pretty cool. So I'll go down to text boxes here. So here we have a simple text box. We have a simple quote text box. So what if I want some inspiration? I want something that looks like this to kind of give some visual appeal to my document here. I'll go ahead and I will insert that. Of course, it doesn't want to behave. I have to move it up here. Okay. And so I just grabbed a built-in text box and I was able to just insert that really, really quickly. If I wanted to, I can insert another one right next to it. And this will make this page really come to life here. Now let's go back into that menu. I'll click on my Insert tab again, and we'll just take a look around. I'll go back to my Building Blocks Organizer here. And maybe I'll grab this bibliography here. And let's take a look at the properties. So I'll click on Edit Properties. And notice it's very exhaustive. We have the name, we have the gallery that it's in. So it's currently in the bibliographies gallery. We have the category, it's built in. Okay. We can create a new category if we want to, but we'll keep it basic here. We have a nice description of what it is. Where is it saved? And then we have our options here, how we want this to pretty much appear on our page. So right now it will be inserted as content in its own paragraph. We can insert the content only, or we even have the option of inserting it on its own page. Okay. So these are customizable. We can go ahead and make changes to them in terms of their behavior. We cannot modify the actual properties of it, but we can modify their behavior. So I'll go ahead and close this. What I want to do is I want to be able to write a short disclaimer. I already have a disclaimer here that I wrote. And I want to be able to just kind of drop this in. Move this down a little bit here. Move this out of the way. I'll get rid of it. So just want a small disclaimer. And maybe I'll give that a style here. I'll go back to my home. Maybe I'll give it the style that I created earlier. And I want to be able to drop this disclaimer anywhere on my document. Okay. And so what I'll do is I'll go ahead, now that I have the colors and the style that I want, I'll go ahead and highlight it. And I'll go ahead and click on my Insert tab. I'll go back to my Quick Parts. Now that I have something selected, I can go ahead and save the selection to the Quick Part Gallery. So I'll go ahead and save that. But before I do that, I'm going to make one more quick adjustment. Maybe I'll put a border around it. I'll go back to my Home tab here. And I'll put a nice border. Let's see, outside border. There we go. Now it looks more official. So I'll go ahead now and insert. I'll go to my Quick Parts and I'll save the selection to the Quick Part Gallery. And it's going to ask me what I want to call it. It's using the first word here, which is disclaimer. That's perfectly fine. I want to go ahead and just accept all of these defaults. I want to leave it in the Quick Parts Gallery. The category will be general. I can assign it to another one if I want to, but I'll leave it here. And I want to insert the content only. I'll go ahead and click OK. Very good. So now if I go back to Quick Parts, it's showing up right here automatically for me. And now I can go ahead and drop that in if I want to. So if I want to drop it in there, I can drop it in there. I'll go ahead and undo that. So that's a very, very nice option. The last thing I'll do here is I want to go ahead and save it somewhere else. So I'll go ahead and highlight it again. And I'll go back to my Quick Parts. This time I'll save to the Quick Part Gallery because I want it to show up right here under my auto text. So notice I do have two auto texts here, one for L2, one for Learnit 3. And if I wanted to, I can also insert different properties here. So if I wanted to insert the author, which is me, it will drop a field right in here. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. I want to go ahead and save my selection here. And maybe I'll go ahead and call this disclaimer 2. Just like that. And this time what I want to do is I want to go ahead and add it to the auto text so that now I can go ahead and drop it in easier there. I'll go ahead and click OK. And so now if I go to Quick Parts and I go to auto text, it will be right here. I can drop in my disclaimer anywhere in my document that I want to. Go ahead and click on the Insert tab. Take a look at the Quick Parts. Go ahead and take a look at the different building blocks that are available. Try and drop in that same simple quote text box that I was able to drop in. But go ahead and write your own disclaimer. Save it to the Quick Parts as auto text and just practice dropping it in different places on your document and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had fun writing your own disclaimer and being able to see that in the auto text for Quick Parts here as well. Let's go ahead and move on to objective number 2 and for lesson 3 here. So we did take a look at the auto text. We took a look at some of the building blocks organizers, the vast array of them. And let's take a look at the document properties and the fields as well. So we can insert some document properties. We can also insert fields. So With the document properties, we have some specific fields that we can drop in to our document here, such as the author, which is Learn It Training, which is the name of my account here. So I can drop that in if I want to. And if I go back, I can drop in the publish date. And so this is a interactive field. So if I drop this in, I can go ahead and change the date here. So maybe I want to put it as December 7th. I can do that as well. So these are really fields and you can interact with them. I'll go ahead. And so we have some built-in ones here for this document. But for a more exhaustive list, if we click on field, we get this really big dialog box here where we have several categories that we can choose from, such as date and time. And these are all the different types of fields that we can drop in on our document. We have some document automation that we have here as well. We have equations and formulas that we can drop in. We used this formula earlier on with our tables. We were able to insert this when we were performing the calculations in our table. We have some indexes and tables as well that we can use. But overall, we have some mail merge options in here as well, such as the address block and different options of that nature. Go ahead and just play around. Go ahead and drop in some of these fields right onto your document if you want to. The address block here, some of them are customizable. You can uncheck or you can specify different conditions and modify some of these as well. I can go ahead and drop in some more auto text. I have some auto text here that I can drop in. We have comments as well. And we have the dates. So we have various date formats that we can choose from if we want to drop in a particular date field. This is particularly useful if you're creating a form and you want to be able to drop these in for your users to be able to adhere to a particular date format. So go ahead and click on the quick parts. Try to drop in some of the document property fields here and go ahead and take a look at the exhaustive list of fields and just play around with them and then come right back. Welcome back. Let's move on to lesson 4, where we'll be talking about just using templates to automate document formatting. So specifically, we'll be taking a look at some templates. We'll view an existing template and we'll actually go ahead and create our own template as well. Now, what is the purpose of a template? Template basically already has fields and paragraphs and sentences and objects and elements that are already built in. And so the only thing that you need to do is just go ahead and update the information that's in there. So it takes away a lot of the legwork that you need to do in terms of designing or creating an actual document. So for example, if I wanted to insert a cover page here, I'm on my Insert tab here. If I click on the drop down for cover page, these are really templates if you think about it. They all have their own special type of formatting, colors that are in here as well. And a lot of these fields are left blank so that you can fill in your own information. I'll go ahead and click on my File tab and let's take a look at an existing template. We'll open it up, peek around, and then we'll go ahead and create our own template as well. So I'll click on my File tab here and I'll go to New. And if you notice here on the bottom, we do have several templates that we can use. And we can go ahead and search specifically for a template if we want to, or we can go ahead and make use of the menu here. We can search by category, or we can take a look at some templates that are down here as well. Now, keep in mind, some of these templates, they're kind of guided tutorials, such as this one here to take a tour and for table of contents as well. But some of them are just waiting for user input, for you to input information to kind of make it your own. So I'll go ahead and search for a business template here. And maybe we want to create a report for our business and where, we want something that has a nice graphical appeal. So I'll go ahead and click on here. And it gives us a little synopsis of what this is. So put together a professional report with this basic report template for Word. Okay, so it includes space for a company logo and can be used in any area of business. going to click on create here. We'll take a look and see what it looks like. So right here, as we can see, all the formatting is there for us. We just need to update the information. If we want to go ahead and give this a title, we can. I did change the year. It's 2021. And it has a nice picture in the background. And so you can change that picture. If you click on that picture and you right click, we can change this picture. We can, from a file, if we already have the picture that we want, or maybe from an online source as well. So if I click on stock images, I can apply one of these images there as well. But in that situation, you would have the picture that your company picture that you would want to place there. And we can go ahead and put the actual date on here. And right here, we can actually go ahead and put the company name. So maybe I'll put my company name here, like so. And we can put our name here if we want to. Maybe I'll just put my initials, MJ. And if we scroll down, we have some other options here. And it's giving us instructions on what we can do. So just tap any placeholder and start typing to replace it with your own. Okay, we can add a picture if we want to. We can change this quote if we want to, right? And so the whole idea, this was saved as a template that allows us to go in and just make it our own. And that's the nature of a template. Very useful when you really need a really good starting point and you want to view an existing design that you can change as well. So various templates do exist, and we'll go ahead and just make a very basic template here. So I'll click on File, I'll open up a blank document here. And let's see, maybe I want to have the task of creating some packages for a employee recognition day, okay? And so what I can do is I wanted to basically just create something here that will have some text boxes with information, some pictures, and things of that nature as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my Insert tab. And I'll just make this very, very simple just to kind of demonstrate how we can save this as a template here. I could drop in some quick parts in here if I want to. So I can go back to that building blocks organizer. I can look for a special type of text box that I want. Let's see if I can go down here. And let's see, text boxes. Maybe I'll insert, let's see, we have some sidebars here that will look pretty nice. Simple text box. We have some other text boxes here. Maybe I'll insert this one here. And this time I'll go up to my insert and I'll have a text box from here as well. Let me click away from this current text box. I'll go down. Maybe I'll move this over a little bit here, like so. And I'll leave it here. I just want to make sure I can click away from that. Okay, so now maybe I want this sidebar. Let's see if I can get one with another color here. Maybe I'll go with blue and orange. So I'll move this sidebar over. Let's see. Do that for now. And text boxes are really cool because they kind of ignore all of the other formatting on your page. And so you just click away from it. I'll go ahead and insert a simple text box this time. And this time what I want, I'm actually going to insert a picture inside of this text box. So I'll delete this and I'll click on my Insert tab and I'll grab a picture, stock image. And maybe I'll use an icon just to kind of keep it simple here. Icon of a person. Maybe this is for one of our coworkers here. So I'll grab that. And maybe I want to just kind of move things around here a little bit. So now what I want to do is just kind of adjust the layout options here. I'll want to fix the position on the page. So I'll enable that. So now I can move this. We'll do that with this one here as well. Just so that I can move them where I want to. And as well. So I'll move this one over here, like so. This one here. Very good. And we want this picture to be a little bigger. So we'll actually type in here just to change the picture. And we'll make this picture a little bigger here. Give this some more balance. Okay. And I'll go ahead and duplicate this sidebar by pressing Control D, as in David. And let's check the layout options. Okay, very good. Go ahead and move this over here. Like that. And right now, it's just a matter of us leaving instructions. I'll put another text box down here. See if I can find a nice one. Go ahead and insert another text box. And let's see if I can find that quote that I had earlier. There we go. That looks pretty good. Go ahead and move this down here. Just like that. And so maybe this part here could be maybe a short bio of the person. Maybe this would be a person's, maybe a tagline that describes the person. And maybe this is the, I don't know, CEO statement regarding the person. And down here is our actual employees' favorite things to do. Okay. And so now the person just needs to enter the bio, a tagline, grab the statement from the CEO, change the picture here to their picture, and they can add their favorite things to do as well. So now if I like this, I can just go ahead and save this as a template. So I'll go ahead and click on my file menu here. Of course, I can make changes here if I want to, because remember with the text box, you do have the contextual menu here. So we can change these colors and different things if we want to. I'll keep it simple, just stick to this layout. Maybe I'll make this a little bigger here. Now I'll go ahead and click on my file menu. I'll click Save As. And I want to save this as a template. So maybe I'll save it on my computer here. And maybe I'll just save it on my desktop. But what I want to do is I want to save it as a Word template. So when I click on this drop down for Word template, notice how it changes the location, this default location here. And we don't want to change that. We just want to go ahead and give this a name. So I'll go ahead and call this Employee Day. I'll go ahead and save that. And so that is saved as a template. So let me go back to my original document here. I'll minimize this one. Minimize this one as well. And let's go ahead and take a look at the templates here. Click on New. And now I have this option here for personal. Okay, so I have my office templates and I have my personal template. So if I click here, there's my template that I used. So now I can just go ahead and click on this. And I can go ahead and just make changes to it. We're good to go. So it's your turn. Go ahead and just make a basic template, or it could be advanced. Make as many changes as you want to. And just make sure you click on File and Save As. You want to save it as a template. And once you have that, just click on File, New, and make sure that your template is showing up and you're all set to go. And come right back. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and move on to lesson number 5. Now, with lesson number 5, we'll talk about controlling the flow of a document, specifically using breaks such as the page break, column, and section breaks. Now, I do have another document prepared here, so I'll go ahead and open that up. And I'll go ahead and click on my Layout tab. And we'll be taking advantage of some of these options here, such as adding or removing columns and various types of breaks as well. So notice we have different types of breaks. We have page breaks, we have column breaks, and we also have different types of section breaks, such as the next page or the continuous. We'll take a look at these, and we'll have some examples here as well. Our current document is 2 pages. Just have some random paragraphs here. Here's page 1, and here's page 2. Just some basic formatting. Nothing too elaborate here. And so what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and just talk about breaks. Now, why would you want to use different section breaks in your document? Well, according to Microsoft, these are really reserved for book writing. So if you're writing a book and you want to kind of create different sections in your book, such as chapters, or have different formatting in different sections as well, then section breaks will actually give you the opportunity to do that. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Let's say, for example, on this very first page, what I want to do, I want to show a 2-column format. So I want 1 column here, and then we can transition to reading at the 2nd column and going down on the right. So I'll click here at the beginning of my first paragraph, and I'll go over to the column and I'll click on 2. And just like that, we have that 2-column format, which is very common for reading different types of text. And if we scroll down to page 2, we also notice that this continues on to page 2. But we don't want this to continue on to page 2. We just want this to be the case for our first page. So there has to be a better way to do this. I'll go ahead and undo by pressing Control-Z. And this time what I want to do, maybe I can go ahead and insert a page break so I can push all these paragraphs down. All right, maybe I just want these first 2 paragraphs here on this page in 2 columns, and everything else we push down to their own page. So I can insert a page break right from here by clicking on breaks, and I can just insert a page break. There are different ways to insert a page break as well. I can press Control-Enter on my keyboard. That will insert the page break for me. I can also go to the Insert tab and insert a page break. I'll go back to my Layout tab and do it this way. So that worked. It pushed the rest of my document down to its own page. And now that page is ready for some formatting. So if I go back up here, so now I have half of what I want. I just want these first 2 paragraphs here on the first page. Now I want them to be in 2 columns. So I'll go ahead and click on my columns as I did before, and I'll convert this to 2. Now what you'll notice that happens here is if I scroll down to page 2, even though I inserted that page break, I'm still inheriting that formatting because Microsoft Word is treating this entire document as one section. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and right click on the bottom left of my document here. And I want to turn on the section so I can see the different sections that I'm in here. Notice we're currently viewing the page numbers and the word count. I'll go ahead and click on section. And so now I'm on page 2. It's saying that I'm in section 1. If I go back to page 1, I'm still in section 1. And so that's not going to work. So what I need to do to kind of break up the formatting here is I need to insert a section break. So I'll undo this again. And this time what I'll do is I still have that page break there. That's fine. But I want to break up the formatting before I apply my 2 columns here. So I'll go to the end of my paragraph and I'll go ahead and insert a break. And this time I want to insert either a continuous section or the next page. What I want to do is I want it on the next page here. So you do have the option if you want to. You can create more than 1 sections on a page by using the continuous section break. But I already know I want it to be on the next page, so I'll go ahead and click there. Very good. So I'm kind of pushing things down here a little bit. That's perfectly fine. So now I can go ahead and I can apply my 2 columns here. And just by taking a look at my document, I can see that the corresponding pages are not in columns. If I go back to page 3, I can see that this is just one column. Okay, now something happened here. I did apply the 2 columns here, but it's only currently showing in 1 column. And so now we have to kind of let Microsoft Word know at what point we want our text to spill over into the other column. So what I'll do this time is I'll go ahead and click on breaks and I'll insert a column break. This will indicate that the text following the column break will begin in the next column. And just like that, I was able to go ahead and do that. So mission accomplished. I have my first 2 paragraphs here on my first page, and I have them showing in a 2-column format. So now let's go ahead and review our sections. So this is section 1. I'll go down to page 2. So anything from page 2 basically is in section 2. Now, a lot of these changes are invisible. I'm going to go to my home tab and turn on my Pilcrow, and this will show all of the paragraph marks and hidden symbols. And I'll go to the top of my document here. So here are my paragraphs. Here's my column break. If I just scroll down, I can see that there's a page break here. Now I did insert 2 breaks, and so this pushed my data all the way down. To insert a break, you can just place your cursor right before the break and press the delete key. And notice how that deleted that page break for me, and it brought my text back up to page 2. Very good. So page 2, still in a section. I'll go ahead and create a 3rd section here. Maybe after this paragraph, I'll create another break. This time I'll do the next page again. That will push those down to the next page. So if I click here, just to confirm, so I have section 3. Now, one of the benefits, of course, of including section breaks is you can apply your own formatting. In this example, what I want to do here is I want to go ahead and maybe apply a page border just to section 2. So I'll go ahead and click on my design tab, and I'll just do a simple page border. And maybe I want a 3D box. Maybe I'll give that an orange color. And I'll kind of leave that the way it is. Now here's where this comes in. If I click on where I want this page border to apply to, the default option is the whole document. So all of my pages will look like this. But now I have this option. Because I have created sections, I can say I just wanted to apply it to this section here. Okay. If I did not have any sections, remember the document is considered as one long section until you actually create the sections. So it will apply to the entire document. So now that I have created a section, I have the ability to go ahead and just apply the border to this section here. And as you can see, my first page does not have the border. My 3rd page does not have the border, but my 2nd page has that border here as well. I'll go to my page 3, and this time what I'll do is I'll go ahead and change the layout. Maybe for page 3, I want to have a landscape orientation. I'll go back to my layout tab here. I'll click on orientation, and I'll change that to landscape. And notice, because I created a section, it's not converting my entire document to landscape. Page 3 is landscape, page 2 is still in portrait, and page 1 is still in portrait as well. So those are the benefits of using the different types of breaks and columns in Microsoft Word. So go ahead and mark up this document, insert some columns, insert some breaks, and make some formatting to each section as well, and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you were able to practice in getting a hang of using the different page, column, and section breaks to format your document. While you were gone, I did insert 2 text boxes here, just 2 basic text boxes. They're identical, and it's just waiting for user input. So I'll go ahead and click inside of my first text box here. And I really like to use text boxes in my Word document because they give you a lot of opportunity to just kind of break up the formatting. They don't really follow the rules. And within that text box, you can insert pictures, you can type text, and it's just a nice way to kind of make things stand out and grab your reader's attention as well. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to kind of control the size of these text boxes here. I do have a few paragraphs that I want to write. And what I want to do is to have some of my one paragraph on my text box on the left and another paragraph in my text box on the right. Now, you can kind of see how it's going to be a little challenging, but let's go ahead and dive in. I'll drop in my rand function here. And as an example, I'll use 2 paragraphs and 3 sentences. And as you can see now, because I type so much information in this text box, it's moving things around. It's moving my headers around for lesson 6 and lesson 7. And it's just getting really, really big here. Now, if I resize it, it does not auto fit. And so I'm losing a lot of the information in here. And so what I'd rather do is to have my information flow over into this text box. That way we can just have 2, pretty manageable text box and not 2 really big ones here. So I'll press Control Z just to kind of undo some of my changes here. I'll go back to normal here. There we go. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and delete the information in this text box here. And I'll also delete the info that's in here as well. And what I'll do is, now that I've clicked on the text box, notice that I do have the shape format contextual menu. And what I want to do is I want to take advantage over here in the text command group. I want to be able to create a link to another text box. So if we just kind of mouse over it, it says let your text flow from one text box to another. Click an empty text box to link it to that current one. So that's why I made sure to delete the information here. So I'll go ahead and click on create link. And I have this, I'm ready here to create a link. It's like a little coffee mug here. And here we go. I'll go ahead and click on this text box. And so now these 2 are linked. So I can go ahead and resize them now if I want to. I'll click away from that text box here. Click on this one. Maybe just resize it a little bit. And now I'll go ahead and drop in those 2 paragraphs again. And we'll see how this behaves. I'll press enter. And look at that. Pretty cool. It spilled my data over, so it's continuing. When it ran out of room in this text box, it went over to my other one. Now I do have some more room here, so I want to make sure to scroll down a little bit. But what I wanted to do, I want them to remain the same size. So I'll click on my first text box here. I'll hold down the control key and I'll select the other one. There we go. Now I can resize them at the same time here till I see everything that I want to see. There we go. So that looks good. Very good. So just really nice. And of course, with the contextual menu, I have other options here. If I want to change the color, the layout of it, I can get some nice preview of what it would look like. And really nice feature here as well. So go ahead and take advantage of the linking feature. If we wanted to break the link, we simply need to just click on the icon that says break the link here. And all the text will be placed in the selected text box as well. So go ahead and drop in 2 text boxes and link them together and just play around with them and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had fun with lesson 5, controlling the flow of a document, and also being able to create a few text boxes and link them together as well. Let's move on to lesson number 6. We'll talk about simplifying and managing long documents. And for our first objective here, we'll talk about just inserting a cover page and a table of contents, 2 essential items to having a really, really great document. So I'll go over to my Insert tab here. And inserting a cover page is a pretty straightforward process. If I click on my drop down here on my Insert tab for my Pages command group, for cover page, I'll click on the drop down. And I am presented with a lot of options here for different types of cover pages. And when you insert a cover page, it will always insert that cover page on that very top page for you. So you do not need to worry about where you're clicked on. Right now, I'm currently clicked on inside of lesson 6, but it's going to insert this cover page for me right at the very top. Just kind of take a look. We have different types of layouts here. And we can also look for more on office.com. We have some other ones here, some more modern ones as well. But we'll keep it simple. And let's just kind of take a look at how it works here. I'll choose the banded cover page here. And I'll drop that in. And if I click on my pages here in my navigation pane, I can see it pushed my data down. So it literally inserted a blank page at the top of the document. And now I can go ahead and interact with my cover page. So here I can just go ahead. I have a title field. So remember in our earlier tutorial, we talked about inserting different types of fields. And when we were taking a look at our quick parts menu, so here is a title field that allows you to add a title. So I'll go ahead and type my title in here. And if we scroll down, we can see that this was designed by using some other fields as well. So here is the author field. And so the author field inherited my username that is associated with Microsoft Word. Here I can put the company name, so I can drop that in. And maybe I don't want the company address, so I'll go ahead and delete that. And there you go. So I have a nice cover page here for my document. And once again, this is really a template that was created for you to add information in as well. Okay, one down, two to go. Now we need to talk about inserting a table of contents, which is a really great way to kind of organize your document here. I'll scroll down just a little bit here and I'll head over to my references tab. And on the far left, I do have the option here of inserting the table of contents. So if I click on the drop down here, so I have an automatic table 1, and it gives me some more information here. And here's my automatic table 2, and I can go ahead and create a manual table if I want to. And I can grab some more tables from office.com if they're available. And I can go ahead and customize my table as well. If I insert a table of contents, I can go ahead and remove it. So how does the table of contents work? Well, notice that we currently have our headings here. We have a heading for each lesson. So if I click on my headings here, so this document is ready for a table of contents because the table of contents will take a look at all the headings and it will add those automatically to our table of contents. And we will be able to click on each section and navigate to each one of those lessons here as well. So if I just kind of mouse over the table of contents, so it allows us to provide an overview of our document by adding a table of contents. So text using a heading style will be included automatically. So we can include more entries and the table will be refreshed when you click Update Table. So you can either do this in the beginning before you start your document, or you can wait till the end. I like to wait until the end so that I can just make one massive import here. And so what I want to do, the nature of these headers here, it's going to be a little problematic if I try to insert a blank page. But what I want to do, we have to determine where do we want to insert our table of contents. Unlike the cover page that always goes to the top, the table of contents will be inserted based on where you have your cursor. And which is a good idea. It gives you more flexibility. Always want your second page of your document to be your table of contents. Maybe you want it to be the first page or the third page. In this case, I want it to be the second page. And so I want to insert a blank page right here. So this will push my lessons down to page 3, and I'll have my table of contents here. But before I do that, I already know the nature of these headers. I want to go ahead and expand all of them. So I'll right click here on lesson 1. And I have this menu here to expand or collapse. I want to expand all of my headings, just so that I don't run into any issues when I'm trying to insert my blank page. Very good. So now I can go and click on the Insert tab. I want to make sure I place my cursor right before that lesson 1. I want to go ahead and insert a blank page. So that worked well. Now I have 3 pages, well, multiple pages here, 4 pages actually. But now I have this blank page right in between my lessons and my cover page. So if I click here, now I can go ahead and insert my table of contents. So everything looks good. I'll head over to my References tab. I'll click on the table of contents. And maybe I'll use automatic table 2. Gives you a little preview of the type of style that's being used and the heading. I'll click on automatic table 2. And just like that, gives me my header for the table of contents. And here are my different lessons, 1 through 7, based on the headers that I created. And it's giving me some instructions here. If I press Control and click, it will bring me to that particular lesson. So let's go back to lesson 6 here. And that will bring me right down to lesson number 6. Now, if I wanted to add something to the table, I can add another header. So for example, if I press the Enter key here and I were to put, let's see, table. And if I give this a heading, so I'll go back to my Home tab, give this a heading 1. Now I'm going to go back to my table. Sorry, I'm moving back and forth a lot here. And so notice it's not showing up here. So I need to go ahead and click on my table. And I have the option right here to update the table. And that's what I'll go ahead and do. And so it asked me a question. Do I want to update the page numbers only? Notice our page numbers are here on the right. I want to update the entire table. So I'll go ahead and click OK. And just like that, the last entry, the last header that I created here, it's showing up and it includes the page number as well. And so that's why I took the liberty in the beginning to just convert all of these lessons into headings so I can have a much smoother transition when I'm creating my table of contents. So go ahead and insert your cover page. Go ahead and insert a blank page. Just remember to kind of expand all of your headings first, and then insert your table of contents. Add some more headings as practice and update the table and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had fun inserting a cover page and a table of contents to give your document a more professional appeal. Well, let's move on to objective number 2 on lesson 6 here. We'll talk about outlines, and we'll talk about managing outlines. Now, I do have another document prepared here. I'll go ahead and open that document up. It's called Outline File 1. And to kind of demonstrate how the outline feature works, I do have a document here. It's our employee handbook. I'm creating an employee handbook, a fictitious one. And so we have a title here. We have 4 parts that we need to go ahead and complete. Right now we have part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. If I expand part 1, I can see I have lots of data here, lots of paragraphs. We're scrolling down. If I go ahead and condense this one and open up part 2, same thing. I have a lot of random text in here as well that I inserted. And currently part 3 does not have any data, and part 4 does not have any data either. So we need to go ahead and add data to those as well. So using the outline feature, I'll go ahead and click on my View tab. And once I click on my View tab, over here on the left, I have this View command group, and I have my outline right here. So I'll go ahead and take advantage and click on my outline. And the outline is very useful when you need to manage a very long document. So if you're writing a book, you have hundreds of pages, or in this case, we're writing an employee handbook that can be up to 100 pages or so. This gives us a really nice option to be able to just kind of customize and control the document. Using headers is a good idea because then you can collapse different headers. For example, if I just want to focus on part 2, I can collapse all the headers and just open up part 2 here, and I can just focus on that. But if part 2 has a lot of pages, let's say part 2 is 30 pages, it's not really practical to scroll through 30 pages of information when you're trying to basically modify it. So there has to be a better way where you can have a snapshot of your data, or in this case, an outline. So I'll go back to my outline tab here. And let's just take a look at a few things that we're going to be interacting with. So we have our outline tools, and what this allows us to do, we can promote different parts of our document here. So we can assign different headings, we can assign subsections, if you will. We can move things around. We'll have a nice outline view where we can move things around, move paragraphs around, move sections around. And we have some tools here where we can expand and collapse an entire section as well. We have some viewable options here. Okay. And we'll take a look at these right now. Over here, obviously, is our document. So here's our title, and here are our 4 headers that we have created. So I'll go ahead and go to part 1. So if I were to just go over here to part 1, notice I have these plus signs here. These indicates that I have headers. So right now I have 4 headers, or in our case, we can consider them 4 parts. So I want to go ahead and expand part 1. As you can see, here is our entire part 1. So our paragraphs are represented as small gray bullets. Okay, and if we click on each bullet, it will highlight them for us. And so one of the things that we can do, we can move these around. So these are elements that we can interact with. So if I click on the plus sign here, notice how it highlights the entire part 1 here. And if I click on the paragraph, highlights the entire paragraph. So one of the things that we want to do is, well, I want to go ahead and create a subsection of part 1. So for my handbook, I want part 1, section 1. So what I'll do is I'll go right here on the video line for my first paragraph. I'll press enter, and I'll just type the word section 1. Okay. And so if I were to close this and go back to my document, this will just be a plain section 1 on its own line. But I want this to be a subsection, or a header 2, if you will. So I'm going to go ahead and promote this. So I'll click on the left here to promote it. And it just promoted it to the highest level, which is level 1. That's not what I want. My part 1 is the level 1. So section 1 should be level 2. I'll click on the drop down this time and choose level 2. So if I did this correctly, if I were to close my document, I should see this as a header 2. But notice the rest of my document here for part 1 is currently under section 1. So I'll go ahead and create another section. So maybe around here, I'll create a section 2. Section 2. Go ahead. Okay, so I'll go ahead and promote this one as well to level 2. So if I close my document now and go back to the main view, I'll see part 1, heading 1, section 1 is the heading 2. If I scroll down, section 2 is the heading 2 as well. So this is a great way for me to just go ahead and apply some layout options and manage my document. Another thing that I can do, maybe I'm looking at my document here and I realized, you know what, this paragraph here will be better if I moved it to the second paragraph. So if I click on my paragraph indicator here, I can go ahead and move this up. So I can move that to the second paragraph here. It's a really nice way to just kind of move things around. And you can see how useful this will be if you have a very, very long document here as well. At this point, some of the things that we can do, these are display options here. If we just want to show all level 1 items, that will condense everything for us, and we're just showing all of our parts here. If we want to include level 2s, we can do that. And if we had any other level 3s, we can do that as well. We'll go ahead and just show all levels here. And if we want to show the formatting, we can do that. So notice now we see the formatting for the title and the headers. We can turn those off or on if we want to. If we want to even condense it even further, we can just show the first line of each item as well. So only the first line of each paragraph is showing, which gives us a little more flexibility and control here as well. I'll go ahead and put these back. Now, what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and condense part 1 here. And I'll do the same for part 2. Part 1 and part 2 are pretty much done, so I'll condense those. And I want to go ahead and work on part 3. Now, part 3 does not have anything here. But what I'm doing is, it's very practical to kind of work in different parts here if you're working on a really, really big document. And so I actually have the information for part 3. I was working on the information in another Microsoft Word file. So now what I can do is I can merge that file right into this outline, and it will drop the information right in here for me. So I'll do that by clicking on Show Document. And right here, I have the option. I can go ahead and insert. So I can browse for an existing file to embed as a sub-document. Okay. Now, just need to be careful. I don't have any information in here, so I should be able to just go ahead and insert that. So now I just need to decide where I want to insert it. I can press Enter and insert it here if I want to. So I'll go down one line and I'll go ahead and insert. We'll just go through the process of cleaning it up. So I'll use my outline file too to go ahead and drop that in there. I'll go ahead and click OK. And there you go. Just like that, it carried over the information from that Word file that I was working on separately. If I'm finished with that file, I'm good to go. I can drop it in here, and it's just a matter of embedding it here as well. So now I need to just go ahead and clean this up. All right. I want to make sure that I do this correctly. So I have a blank line here. I'll go ahead and delete that. And this part 3, maybe I'll change this to a section 1. Section 1 this time. And I'll go ahead and promote that as well. I'll give that a level 2. Very good. And so just like that, I was able to do that. Now, if I want to, I can continue to work on that file because now they're linked. So I can continue to work on that additional file and update the changes here. Or if I'm finished completely, I can go ahead and just unlink the files. What that will do is that will delete the link to the other file, but it will copy the information over here. And that's what I want. So I'll go ahead and click on unlink. Notice my information is still here. I'm still good to go. So I'll close my outline view. I'll go to part 3 here. And it brings me to part 3, section 1. There I go. So now I can use my navigation, go back to part 1. I can go ahead and collapse everything here. Just like that. So go ahead and click on the View tab, open up the outline view, and play around with it. And come right back. Welcome back. Well, let's go ahead and move on to lesson number 7. We'll be talking about mail merge. And in this specific example of mail merge, we're going to be preparing letters for mailing for some of our club members here, our fictitious club. And we access the mail merge command by accessing the mailings ribbon tab, clicking on Start Mail Merge, and taking advantage of the step-by-step mail merge wizard. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up a new document here by pressing Control N, and I'll go ahead and start my mail merge on this document. So I'll go ahead and click on my mailings, and I'll click on Start Mail Merge, and I'll open up my wizard here. Now I do want to point out that this is a 6-step wizard. So this is currently step number 1 of 6. And basically after we make our decision here in terms of what type of document we want to create, we just simply need to go ahead and click Next, which is our starting document. So we can go ahead and create a letter. We'll just take a look at the other options here as well. And we do have some information down here that tells you exactly what this type of mail merge will do for you. So we can send email messages, create envelopes, print address envelopes for group mailing. We can print labels for group mailing, or we can create a single document or a catalog of addresses as well. We want to use letters. I'll go ahead and click Next. Now we have an option here. How do we want to start? How do we want to set up our letters? So we can use this existing document here, this current document. What that means is that later on we'll actually need to write the letter right in here, and then we can go ahead and insert all the different fields as well. So if you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. If you want to start from a template, we can do that. So I can go ahead and select a template. And there are a few templates here. There's a blank one. There's a report. Here's a thank you letter. And if I just click OK, it's going to import that for me right here into my document. Another option that you have is to start from an existing document. So if you already have your letter written, you could have opened your letter and then start the mail merge, or we can just call that letter right now. I actually have my letter written already. It's actually this one. I just kind of modified it a little bit here. So I'll go ahead and click on open. And I get this message just telling me that, hey, you told me you wanted to start from a template. If you pull up another file, it's going to delete this one. That's perfectly fine. I'll go ahead and click OK. And so I'll go ahead and grab my mail merge letter here. I'll click open. So here's my letter. I just want to give this a quick style here, so this can stand out a little bit. Give it that. And this one here as well. And I'll call this one, let's see, Members Club. All right, there we go. Very good. Okay, so now I can go ahead and click next. So again, we're asked another question. Do we have a list of recipients, or do we need to go ahead and create one? So we can use an existing list if we have one. We just simply need to browse to that file and open it up here. We can select the option to choose from our Outlook contacts. I do not have my Outlook connected right now, but we can choose that as well. Or we can go ahead and type a new list. I'll go ahead and preview what the type a new list looks like. And I'll go ahead and click on create. And here, it's just a matter of entering the information. You don't have to enter everything here. If I just kind of make this a little wider here. So you have title, goes all the way to email address as well. You can actually customize the columns if you want to. Then we can add or remove columns. We can move things around if we want to. So maybe I don't want the country, everybody's in the USA. Maybe I don't want that one. Okay. And maybe I don't really want their work phone on here. So it's just really up to you what you want. And at this point, you can just go ahead and enter the information. So I'm going to enter some information here, but I will not save it. So I'm just filling it out here. Again, you don't have to fill everything out. It's just what you want to show up on your actual letter when you import the information. So I can put my address here, city, state, zip code, home phone, and email address. And so it's pretty simple. And then for a new entry, just click on new entry, and this will give you another line. Now you can go ahead and enter information here as well. So it's pretty simple. I'll go ahead and cancel that because I do have an existing list that I want to use. And so I'll go ahead and browse for that list. And it's saved in this special folder here because I did create it actually I typed my new list manually, and I was able to save it in this default folder here. I call it Club Members. I'll go ahead and open that up. And so it shows my entries here. These are the people here that I entered. So I have Jane, Mo, Ted, Angie, and Chris. And if you did actually type in your list, you would actually have this dialog box here as well. So at this point, you can do a few things. You can pretty much select or deselect who you want to send information to. And I'll just move this over. As you can see, I didn't fill everything out. Okay, just some fictitious addresses here. And I can go ahead and sort if I want. So if I want to sort this by maybe by last name or something like that, I can do that. I can create a filter if I want to. I can search for duplicates. Duplicate checker, there are no duplicates, very good. If I have a very long list here, I can look for a particular recipient. So I can just type in Jones here. I can specify the field if I want to, or I can just use the wildcard. There you go. So basically it's just asking you to make any changes you want to this list before we actually move on. My list is fine. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now I'll move on next to writing my letter. So at this point, if you have not already done so, you can write your letter now. I already have my letter here. And so what we want to do now, if you don't have your letter, go ahead and write it. And once you're done, we're going to insert these different blocks here. So we have the address block, we have the greeting line. And if you want any other items, you can click on more items. And these are other fields that we can drop in there as well. But you want to make sure that you have fields that you actually have filled out. So I'll go ahead and hit cancel. And so what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and double click on the address field here. And I want to drop in insert my formatted addresses here. So if I do that, it gives me a nice preview of what it would look like. I have different options here. So this will be Mr. Mo Jones. Here's my company name, my address. Okay. So if I kind of change this, maybe I don't want the Mr. in there. So it's really up to you. You can go ahead and use that. And we can just say only include the country's region if it's different than the United States. So we do have some other options over here as well. We can cycle through all of our recipients just to make sure everything looks good. And if we wanted to make any changes, we can go ahead and make a change here as well. So let's see, make sure everything is okay. Very good. Go ahead and click OK. Now I have that there, I can just delete this word here. Just like that. And now for the greeting, go ahead and drop the greeting line in there. And I have different options here that I can choose from. Dear sir or madam, or to whom it may concern. I'll leave it just like this. I can change the character if I want to. And again, I can cycle through what the greeting would look like for each person here. Looks good, I'll go ahead and click OK. And again, I'll just delete this greeting line here. So those are basically just placeholders here. And so I think I'm pretty good here. One of the things that I can do, I can go ahead and preview the results before I click next here. So I'll click on view, and it's giving me a preview of what it would look like. If I'm happy with that, I'll go ahead and keep it. If not, I can go ahead and make some changes as well. I'll turn my preview off. It's going to allow us to preview it anyway, because the next step is to preview our letters. Very good. So now I'm previewing my letters here. And my first recipient here is Mrs. Angie Blake. If I scroll down, this is just one letter. And I can go ahead and cycle to the next recipient here, Chris Appleton. I can go back. Okay. Very good. And so if I want to look, if I had a very exhaustive list, if I want to look for a particular recipient, I can go ahead and do that here. I can choose to exclude a recipient if I want to, such as Mrs. Jane Doe. I can edit the list from here before I finalize my changes. So we do have a lot of options here as well. And so the next thing that I can do is I can go ahead and complete the mail merge. So I'll go ahead and complete it here. And mail merge is ready to produce your letters. To personalize your letters, click Edit. This will open a new document with your merged letters. To make changes to all the letters, switch back to the original document. So if I'm okay with this generic letter for everyone, I can just go ahead and print them. Or if I want to individualize, have individualized letters, I can go ahead and edit those as well. So I can edit the individual letters, or I can just go ahead and print them. So if I click on edit individual, if I want to look for all of them, I'll say okay. And now I can scroll through all of my letters. So this is Mrs. Jane Doe, Mr. Mo Jones. And so now I can go ahead and make some changes if I want to. And then finally, I can just go ahead and actually print. But I'm not going to do that now. And so that is how the mail merge feature works. Take advantage of the wizard. So go ahead and complete a mail merge. Create your own list of recipients. Type your own letter, or you can grab a letter template and use that as your mail merge and come right back. Congratulations! You just completed our 7 mini lessons here for Microsoft Word 2021 Intermediate. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned a lot. We talked about organizing content. We talked about customizing formats. We talked about inserting content using reusable content. We talked about using templates to automate document formatting. We talked about controlling the flow of a document. We talked about simplifying and managing long documents. And we ended with our modern day mail merge. Well, it's been a pleasure guiding you through this tutorial. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing all of you in a future Learn It tutorial.